back to these lessons. Alright, so I'm gonna start this one off. With where we want to start at. Let me say this. I'm gonna speak in general, but to the fellas in particular. So there's this thing going on, man. With these goddamn women. Not saying all, but trying to find the best way to put this. There's a thing going on, man, with like I said, not all women, but damn near a considerable amount of women. They have some type of, I don't know what's the best way to put it, some type of subconscious vendetta against the male species. Now, this is why oftentimes you see a lot of women be like, they'll get on social media and be like, ladies, this, and girls, this, and ladies, and giving advice and shit, right? But you don't never hear them just speak in general. They'll be saying some shit that really you could just say generally, but it's always geared towards the women. This is because they have this battle of the sexes fucking mentality. I'm not saying niggas don't have it too, but I think it's more so with the women, for one. Now, the women, take it back to, go back to history. Once upon a time, for lack of a better way of putting it, magic was something, a general thing. You didn't just have what you call witches, you had wizards or whatever. And witch, like I say, the witch thing, a witch is the term itself. We're gonna get into that probably in the next segment or two. But the witch thing, the word witch has a stigma on it. But the Wizard of Oz breaks it down perfect. It shows you the good witch and the bad witch or whatever. So, just like you got good wizards and you got bad wizards. Now the name of the game is, that's why in school they taught you the golden rule, which is do unto others as you would want done to you, to the best of your ability. Now we all got a human aspect to it. We are gods in human bodies, or divinity in human bodies, or whatever you want to, hey, souls in human bodies, or whatever how you want to put it. So you got a physical body. You're prone to mistakes. That's fair. Nobody's an exception to the rule. First time motherfucker tell you they perfect and no flaws, that's the motherfucker you watch. The motherfucker, that's why they say you got, you know, in the mall, baby, say you have to have a little dirt on you for somebody to trust you, right? But let me broaden that from outside of that mafia shit. Translation, to generalize that. Everybody has something they go through or done that they may not be proud of, or could be considered quote unquote bad, right? We're gonna get into morality in a minute too. Now, how you respond to these things is what determines a person with a heart. See, the heart chakra, an open heart chakra is what makes you one with humanity, or one with people, or makes you. That's what love is about. Love, being in love outside of this relationship type shit. Love is just an awareness of the oneness with the rest of the world. Awareness of your oneness with the rest of the world. that is what keeps you connected. That is what keeps you or makes you better at treat others as you want to be treated. Because anybody of a sound mind and body is not gonna do something intentionally to harm themselves, right? Therefore, if you see others as you see yourself, you won't do nothing to harm them. But to give you an example, I don't want to lose my spot though. I'll give you a quick example. I'll go back to the story in detail later. But I remember this girl slapped me one time, right? She was mad because I didn't want to do with her or whatever. So we was walking and she was in front of me walking. She was talking shit. I was like, man, whatever. She turned around and bow. I slapped her back without even thinking about it. I slapped her. I was like, damn, because I don't hit that. But once you put your hands on me, it's fair game. But even it was a reflex. You know how you go to the doctor, they hit you on the knee with that thing, your leg automatically go up? It was like that. She bow. You know what I'm saying? Not bragging on that. I'm just giving you an example. See how shit work? You slap me, I slap you back. Without even thinking about it, it was like a subconscious response. Bow. Now, do on the others as you want done to you. See how deep that goes? I didn't have to think about it like, bitch, bow. No, it was like, she bow. I'm like, man, I look at my hand like, you know, surprise me. So, keep that in mind. That's pretty much how I try to live my life for the most part, man. But this thing used to be a general thing or whatever. Eventually, that's why we read Manly P. Hall speaks about it in Secret Teachers of All Ages. He speaks of a time where a group of certain group of individuals took the magic and so many words, try to keep all the science of it to themselves and use it against and bar other motherfuckers from it and use it against them or whatever. And this is what I think is going on, because as I reflect on life and I look at a lot of shit that's going on, and I look at women, and especially these women of the day, today it's like the black, you know how that black head, when that pimple ready to bust and it come to a head, that's what this thing has come to with women. I think with men, all our shit came to a head in the 90s, late 90s, in the 2000s and shit or whatever. So, or whatever. It's like now it's coming to a head with the women, and I'm seeing this shit. So I guess the best way to put it, I think everybody's waking up now, and everybody's getting into, you know, the art of magic and all this shit. But I think women have been a step ahead of us with this shit, and not only that, you've been using it against us. Not all. This is why you hear, like, in New Orleans and shit, women put period blood in nigga spaghetti and shit. I don't even know how the fuck, you know, seeing how deep this shit go now. I don't even shit. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck that shit make me want to be a gigolo for the rest. I'm not trying to make y'all scared at your wives and shit or whatever. And that's why I don't want to put shit in people's mind and have them looking at their significant other in a certain way, and that might not be the case with them. But I go as far as to say, just have some sense of discernment, I guess. But anyway, I do think it's cause even when you, like I was telling with the Me Too movement, you can use that as an example or whatever. Just like when you look at the Little Rascals, they had the He-Man Woman Hater Club and shit. I think it's the feminine version of that. The woman, a she woman, a woman man hater, a woman she hater, a woman he hater club or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying. And like I said, that's why you see some women, they don't. We'll just. I'll speak about black people in particular. I'll speak about black people in particular right now because we are in a general fight. So when I see black women stand up and all they talking about is women is, and all the only advice they got to give is just to the women and ladies don't do this and ladies be your best and this, that, and the third. And I watch motherfuckers like that and I see them. I can agree with yeah, baby girl, do your thing. But the moment I start to realize you don't never speak generally like or say shit to uplift men as well, I start to look at that away or whatever. But even that's like with the Me Too movement. Now that's more so of a white. That's more so of a white woman thing in Hollywood. Because when it popped off, that's pretty much when it first started. It was just a bunch of white women and shit. For what I saw. So that's why when I started seeing black women feed into it, I was like, no motherfucker, you gotta fight. You supposed to be over here with us on some black Me Too movement shit. Black people in general, or black people fighting the system in general. But you just come over here, and then that, because that ain't nothing but a new Me Too movement, ain't nothing but a revision of feminist movement. And the feminist movement is basically, that shit has undertones of man hate. So, when I see people run over there to that, black women run over there, I'm like, man, we got a whole fight on our own over here. You coming over here, all that shit is gonna end up having you hating on us or saying fuck all niggas instead of trying to figure out the problem we got between us so we can better combat the shit that's coming against us or whatever. So that's one thing I saw. I pay attention to. And I'm not saying we ain't got our fucked up shit too. I'm not saying that. But I'm paying attention to this shit and I'm seeing nobody's catching on to this because nobody's speaking on this shit. And I'm seeing it. I'm like, damn, I see a lot of that. Most of the time when I see niggas talking about some uplifting shit, they just speaking generally. There's like more niggas waking up to now though, they're starting to see like how these motherfuckers how they really be trying to pop it on a nigga. So it's like you'll see niggas more so now like starting to peep the bullshit, So now another thing I've been noticing really since I've been out of jail is I see a lot of relationships, family, friends, and I see niggas in relationships where they take shit and they be getting handled, and I be like, bro, like, these women be running these niggas over, almost like pimps and hoes, damn near. And I be like, the fuck is going on here? Like, what? It damn near be like it's a fear there in the man or something. It's like some type of fear of the woman. I be like, bro, why don't you just leave? There's some situation to be where a nigga be fucked up and he dependent on a woman staying in a house or some shit like that. So he goes through more till he try to navigate and figure his way out or whatever. And that's one thing. But then some shit I be like, when you see a nigga the breadwinner and he still getting handled, I be like, hold on, bro, what's going on here? And so just to bring it back to the magic thing, I think that a considerable amount of women have been using this shit against us. So you have women who know this shit, but act like they don't. Even when they probably go as far as to act like they're just a regular Christian churchgoer. But the whole while behind closed doors, they're using magic on their young men, as opposed to being a good wife and at least putting a nigga, raising them up and putting them on. That's why it's good. That's why I'm speaking generally. I'm speaking about the niggas in this particular setting, but everybody needs to know this shit, because especially now, because this information is too general, and you don't want to be a victim to this shit. So you want to be in a position where a motherfucker try to use some shit on you, you can fight back. That's why this shit is called psychic self-defense. Read it. And books like it. Not just this one, but books like this. And my other book here. For starters, this Eastern Body, Western Mind, self-help, real self-help shit. But I ain't not to knock no other books, but getting to this right here, and this type of information is very key. So you can understand how your wheels of life, how to align those and function with them. And this right here, these 3 books right here, do you some justice. Another thing you want to do, called we're going to speak on mental hygiene. And this is for everybody, but especially men in general. I mean, men in particular. You want to, I remember when I first got out of jail, I was doing, I had to have me going to Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, it was required or whatever. And one of the key things, because you hear about magic and all this shit, and, oh, you want to learn how to, fucked up people, first thing they want to learn how to do is use this shit against other motherfuckers. But in this book, they on point, because they'll tell you true magicians are really too focused on their own work and dealing with their own self to even be worried about another motherfucker. So it's just like anything else. 9 times out of 10. Now somebody fucking with you and you want to fuck with them back, that's one thing. But you want to always be on the self-defense side of things, really. This shit is not about learning this to use it against motherfuckers for nothing. Just like anything else. See, we got this thing where we think morality doesn't matter. But it does. Read Ancient Egypt Light of the World, for starters. And we can put some water. Hold up. Yeah. So, you'll hear, I always reference y'all to Bobby, right? But I always consider, because there are certain things he might say in one lecture, and if you don't know how to read, if you don't, because I listen to countless amounts of hours of shit, so he can say something in one sitting, but I understand that that's not, you're not supposed to take that just that alone, because he'll say something in another sitting that may seemingly contradict that. But we all get caught up. That's like me. I get to talking and shit. I might say something and go on a tangent and end up on somewhere else and forget to even close out some other shit I was saying. So, but to give you an example, there's one lecture Hugh, where you'll hear him say, this ain't about morality, fuck morality, or whatever. But what you got to understand is, morality, when he said that, he was trying to differentiate what we do from Orthodox religion. Because Orthodox religion, based on so many words, puts you under the impression that all you have to do is be a goody two-shoes and you'll make it to this place called heaven. or you'll be all right in the afterlife or whatever. No, it's work you have to do. These books, this is just for what it says, psychic self-defense. Books like this and this is what will help you in the afterlife, or the after you transition or whatever, or to help you conquer death while you're here on earth. Because no such thing as death, really. It's called death is just transformation. That's why I tell you, you die when you go to sleep. Every time you go to sleep and wake up, and that's why they tell you, even in Kemet, the sun dies every night when it goes down, comes back to life when it raises up. Eternal life. So this is because you only know what you learn while you're here. So if you miss when you make the transition out of the physical body, you only take what you learn here. So these are the things you want to know. But shit like this, because you can be as good as you want to be, and that's cool, and that's good for earthly affairs and human life or whatever. That makes it more, which is what we're going into. So it's very key, because if morality didn't matter. But the reason he was saying for morality, he was saying it in a sense of, in matter of fact, the lecture I'm thinking about in particular, he tells you why he said that. He's basically something where he said we know right from wrong innately, at least black folks, and really the world in general now. But that's something white folks came after us, so they Johnny come lately. So by the time they had to start learning how to live harmoniously, and that's why you hear people say one with nature. Well, we all nature, so it's all about being one with nature. You want to be able to walk around this motherfucker and be in a harmonious setting. At least you want to be as harmonious as you can. That's why I don't want to be nowhere where I gotta. If nigga fuck with me, I'm gonna kick their ass to the best of my ability. Whatever I gotta do, punch, fight, kick, scratch, or whatever. But that's why if I'm not going into an environment where if I can't be, even if it ain't about this fight, if I know it's gonna be an argument over here, if I know this motherfucker over here always like to argue, even with this shit, because I don't even like even. I think I'm to the point now I don't even which would teach like Bobby will tell you, don't even, this shit ain't conversation about this shit ain't for everybody, because some motherfuckers just want to argue for the sake of arguing. This shit is not about arguing, it's about having realizations, or at least being able to agree to disagree. But like I told y'all a few videos back, some people due to a lot of indoctrinations into religion by the blade, religious wars and shit, people have this subconscious tendency to feel like they have to fight for it. So if you don't, I'm Islam and you a Christian, you feel like I have to, you feel like that's your enemy, or so you may not fight them physically, but you're gonna always be pitted against them, as opposed to exchanging information and finding common grounds with each other, or whatever. And some people even go as far as to feel like you're worth fighting, or engaging in a physical altercation, which you would be easy for them to do, or they because they already look at you like, well, he's a Christian anyway, so if I beat him up, Allah will bless me or some shit or whatever. However, these people are crazy. Telling you, but this is I feel like, but anyway, I don't even. If I feel like you somebody I can conversate with about this shit, and even if we don't agree on something, we agree to disagree, and we can still be cool or whatever. That's one thing. But a motherfucker that you all that, this ain't about that. So what I was going to say, by the time white folks started learning about, see, everybody was saying, he was like, that's more so for them. The Bible and Ten Commandments and be good, and they had to be taught that we didn't need no book to teach us how to be civilized. We are God by nature. Mine raised in Asia. When I say Asia, I mean the earth period is Asia. Now I am one. I posted the Sambo thing to tell you about the statue in Asia and shit. But the 3 pyramids in Egypt are there for a reason. They align with that Orion belt for a reason. That's the center point. That's ground zero for creation. Everything sprung forth from there. I'm saying it because I hear people be like, "Well, we really was in America first, but then we went to Africa." And I'm like, "Nah, it was predicted. America was a." It's a book I didn't even read it, but Bobby always talk about it. It's a book called Hermetica by Walter Scott. And it said the awakening of the planet, is just to paraphrase it, would be in a land that hasn't been established yet in the West. The West, when they say the West, they're talking about America. The Orient is Africa, Asia, and all that. This is the West. So if it's in a land that wasn't established yet, that means that it wasn't populated, or it was populated last, or built up last, whatever. Which would mean that everything was popping over there first. Some people don't say. Some people feel like America. That's why I say it. Really, when people be like, "We're the federal, what they call that shit, foundation of Black America." I understand that as a thing, but that's still human shit. Because ultimately, you screaming foundation of Black America, but your last soul journey, you probably was in Asia somewhere. The last time you was on the planet. Because we're not these physical bodies. We're souls or whatever. But we're in a time now where these physical vessels, who you are now, there's some important shit to that too, though. That's another story, though. But your soul, so when you get too caught up in that means you're being too human, because you thinking just because, all right, you might can trace your family that you born into now. You might be able to trace that bloodline all the way to the Native Americans and the Choctaws and all this right here. And that's the mother. That's the son of the mother aspect of you. When I say son of the mother, I mean S-U-N, not the masculine and feminine, because we all are sons, women and men. You all have, or those who have souls, sons or whatever. So, but the last time you was on Earth before this lifetime, that's why niggas be talking about you only live once. Bullshit. So that's another thing when I be saying when niggas be saying shit like it came out the papyrus of Egypt or some shit. That's one of the things too. You only live once. It's like, no, you've lived many lifetimes. That's why that's what fucks you up, thinking that you are just this life. You just came here. Oh, it's just this one. No, you've been here on many occasions. And you want to put yourself in a position where either you don't come back or you come back by choice. Like me, I came back here by choice, obviously, because I came to do this work, Christ or whatever, this Christ work. So I ain't come back haphazardly. I came back because I wanted to. It was supposed to. It was supposed to happen like this. It's not the same. That's not the case for everybody though. Some of y'all came back to learn lessons that you didn't pick up in another lifetime, whatever. Or reach the pinnacle of your soulhood or whatever you want to call it. That's where quantum physics and all that shit come in at. Quantum, we used to talk about quantum beings. quantum being, your quantum self is the part of you that exists in many different lifetimes, so to speak, or whatever. But, so, but we, to take it back to what I was saying, we, now by us falling and being under the authority of the white man with the savagery, the savage civilized barbarism that we've been raised up under, picking up his ways and actions, of course we failed, and now we have to, we went through, we're going black on black violence and all this old shit, men versus women, and we mistreat each other and all this old shit. Of course we have to clean ourselves up and pick ourselves back up based off of having to live his way of life, the way of life as he saw fit for us to live under the boot of him. But generally speaking, overall, when you go back to ancient times, we wasn't more we didn't have to focus on it. We was more focused on more spiritual shit. We didn't have to focus, put all this time into going to church every Sunday and reading, okay, I gotta do right. It was just, that's like when I was in jail. I once said, I do right, or I'm righteous for the sake of righteousness, as opposed to, because I was comparing myself to, or comparing me or my mentality to a Christian or a religious person. And what I was saying was, I don't do right out of fear of, I do right for the sake of, Son of Man is righteous for the sake of righteousness itself. So you better be good for goodness sake. Santa Claus shit. That's when I was in jail. Man, a lot of shit is, there's a lot of shit we think is bad, or we look at like, it's not, then it comes to the point of not what you do, but how you do it. So if I tell you, we're going to tangent, but it's not about, because church and religion and shit have you thinking you can't do shit, or you take a drink, you have sex, and they have you thinking shit that's bad. They have you thinking shit that you're supposed to be doing is bad when it's not. So that's why somebody who don't really understand what's going on, they'll see me and think I'm a contradiction. Well, how he saying he Christ and he's smoking weed and he rapping about busting guns and all this shit. And all this shit is like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, rapping about shit I rap about is art. But it's a reflection of reality too, because I kick your ass if you get out of line. Just like anybody else should. If I'm chilling and I don't fuck with nobody, but me not fucking with nobody don't mean anybody gonna fuck. That's who 9 times out of 10, motherfuckers who fuck with people, a lot of times they fuck with people or try. I don't want to put myself, I ain't never been bullied. Never been bullied. My inner self wouldn't even let that happen. I mean, like I said, I remember a nigga tried it. I got dead on his ass as a kid. But ain't nobody have to tell me, don't let nobody bully you. No, it was just like, no. And then they go back to the old school rules. Nigga too big, pick something up, bust his motherfucking head open, or bust that iron, whatever. So it's not about, it's a thing. Do what you do, but just try to do it without fucking over other people and stepping on other people's toes or whatever. But that's what he meant by that. We didn't have, everybody have to tell me right from wrong for the most part. And that's certain shit you gotta figure out through trial and tribulation. Like, damn, I should have did that. Like I say, because we all fall short or whatever. But a real nigga or a righteous motherfucker, when you go through bad shit or something that's wrong or something, you gotta first and foremost be able to come to grips with that. realize what led you to the behavior, and then that's what repenting is about. Let me make sure I'm staying where I want to go. I don't want to go too far, but this is relevant. But the repenting thing. Okay, so but yeah, but let me take it back so I can get into what I really want to talk about with this shit in this setting or whatever. But if you want to know if morality is a factor, it is. Like I say, read Ancient Egypt, Light of the World. It's gonna tell you. You're gonna hear about the story of Horus and Set. That's good and evil. Now I understand. You got the Set is your back, Horus is your front. Set, Soot. That's the dark, feminine part of you. Horus. That's why I say niggas. That's the biggest funny joke. The biggest joke about the niggas that was talking about that. Oh, the black woman is God. The black woman is God. It's like no. The black woman falls under the category of what the prototype of the devil is, which is Set. Set is the subconscious of the back. That Satan get behind me. That's why the man is the lead. Not just because we want to pump our chest out, but we are the active agent. So you can't be a man hater. You don't like men, you don't like masculine energy. You don't like masculine energy, you don't like moving, because masculine energy is active energy. The physical, that's why they say the son of the mother. When they say the son of the mother, the physical body is the son of the mother. Because the mother is that's why women are more materialistic than us. Because they are they are predominated by that, they are predominated by the gender of feminine, by the feminine gender. And the physicality falls on the feminine gender. Negative, the lower you get, the spirit had to lower itself down, or spiritual energy had to lower its vibration down into a physical, just like you got ice. That's ice is a low vibration, right? That's why the molecules in the ice move slower. They're moving, but everything moves. Everything's moving even when it seems still. But it's just certain things move so slow that they don't even seem like they're moving. So when you melt that ice, it turns into water. The molecules are moving a little bit faster. Then when you heat that water up, it turns into steam and rise. That will be that will correspond to spirit. So the lower the degree, the more physical things are. Low degrees, it falls into, just like you get the battery, you got the positive and the negative. The more negative the degree, the more physical shit is. The woman falls under the negative gender or whatever. The physical, that's why they're more materialistic than us. That's why even Aaliyah said, in one of her interviews, they was like, they was talking about the jewelry. She said, yeah, I love jewelry. She said, I'm a girl. Go back to what I was telling y'all niggas who be too, I'm not saying niggas can't wear jewelry and shit, but you niggas that be too worried about it. That's why I was telling y'all about designer clothes and shit. I was like, man, that was more so girl shit. Not saying niggas didn't wear Gucci and shit, but I guess what I'm trying to say is our mentality towards that shit wasn't as intense as the woman back then. Now you niggas is into this Gucci and probably this Gucci and Prada and Balenciaga and all this old shit you niggas don't even know how to spell. We wasn't like that, nigga. We Dickies, T-shirts, Polo, Nikes, Reeboks, Adidas. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about that shit too. We like to, don't get me wrong, because we got both of the masculine and feminine qualities too. But you niggas are more into that shit than we were back then. We didn't care too much about that shit as compared to y'all niggas. Everything come out y'all mouth is Fendi bag. Y'all carrying purses like women and shit. Like, it's a different thing. What was I going with that? The physical, wait, but the son of the father is the masculine light energy. The soul is really both. Active energy, the physical body was created, then the active spiritual energy is what creates the movement or whatever. So if you don't like men, you don't like movement. Nothing moves. That's why I say, nigga, nothing moves without masculine energy. You can't say fuck, one can't say fuck the other in both cases or whatever. So I think I put that right there where I wanted it. So now to go back to what I was saying about the Alcoholic Anonymous class. Now either before I went to that, there was one day I remember I went. It was either before I went. I think it was. I think I read in Ancient Egypt, Secret Teachers of All Ages. I was reading how there was one part in there speaking on the importance of memory, and I was like, yeah, I can see that, because soon as I became aware or was exposed to this information, the first thing I did to confirm that I was on the right path, I started lining up shit from the past with what I was learning right there in the present. So I was like, oh yeah, this shit makes sense. So that's why I was doing this. Oh, Osiris is green. Oh, that's why my favorite color was green. And I started, that memory is important. So then I went to the AA class, and just so happened we started talking, and there was a lady in there, cool lady too. I'm not gonna say her name, but she was cool people. A bunch of cool people in there. That was not from my walk of life. That's why I'm putting emphasis on it. But there was a lady in there that said that she was like, she started speaking about, I can't remember how it came up, but somehow memory came up. But it was a synchronicity. That's how spirit worked. So I said, yeah, okay. I said, yeah. So anyway, to tie that back in to what I'm trying to get to now is you want to do, and that's one thing jail is good for, or not good, but if you are, people go, some niggas just go down there and they get caught up in the jail life. It's niggas that go down there and learn something, they use that time for self-reflection, a lot of self-reflection. That's a lot of shit I did. You know, I had niggas I kicked it with shit. We played dominoes, chess, talk shit, eat spreads and all that shit. But then a lot of times, like my nigga Mississippi used to come and you just say, God damn nigga, why you always in the cell, nigga? Cause I always been there reading, I be chilling. But that's how type of nigga I am in the world too. I got partners I kick it with this shit too, but I like my self-reflections. I like to sit back and think. I'm a thinker, so I like to sit back and reflect. I always been like that. So one thing you want to do is self-reflection, especially if you consider yourself to be a righteous individual or a civilized being, because a lot of times when we do certain shit that we may consider as bad or whatever, or we want to that's like that boy said, hip hop is a lesson. It's a hip hop is a lesson moment. Nigga Shout got I don't know if it was his song. I don't know the name of the dudes who the song was, but I think Shout was on it. But the nigga say wrong. He say wrong living. It remind me of he say wrong living. It remind me of some shit that I want to put behind me. That's what we do. Sometimes we do shit, and even if we don't realize it right there that it was wrong or whatever, we might not realize it later on down the line. But what the mind does, or even just not even just wrong shit, just a traumatic incident or whatever, the mind's trying to forget it, or in commission of trying to forget about it or unlive the moment, you'll put it in your subconscious mind. But if you don't deal with that thoroughly, for lack of a better way of putting it, and you just put it in the subconscious, it can end up manifesting, manifesting later on down the line, to get your attention or whatever. So I guess the best way to put it is you want to, after hearing this, get into self-reflection, meditation, and all that, so you can catch it before it manifests later on down the line. It's like this book right here. Right here it says if you take I wish I could find the. See like a. Let me see. I don't know what I'm doing is. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on, let me see. Yeah. Anyway, I'll just give it to y'all. It was saying how if you got a sandwich, let's say you got you put a sandwich in the refrigerator or whatever, and then you forget about it and you start stacking other stuff on top of it or whatever, and you forget it's back there, and then all the stuff that you stacked on it, you clear that on out, eventually eat it or whatever, and then you make it back to that sandwich, or say you don't, and you just keep stacking stuff in front of it, you never get to make it back to that sandwich. Eventually that sandwich gonna start rotting and smelling. Or just like, we give you another example. When you eat, food digests in your stomach. But if you let it sit there too long without going and getting it out, what you gonna do? You gonna start farting a lot. That's to let you know, hey, time to get this shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? So the mind does that the same way. Soot, set, shit, soot, all do the same thing. Soot, shoot, shit, same thing. That's why they say soot, flunk, excrement in the eye horse or something like that. When I did the breakdown, I showed you that how that not only is referring to what I'm saying now, but as well as where it stood, how that is a metaphor for something that happened in the creation process or whatever. Go look at the Twilight Summer. I can't remember if it was on this page or my Starface Summer page, my Starface Spaceship page. One or two, but yeah. So you want to do that by you having a self-reflection. Go back to what I was telling y'all over Christmas about the mirror. Once you realize your own flaws or realize your own mishaps in the past, you come to terms with it. This is what repentance, the real repentance. That's what the whole thing about. See, you go to Catholic school or Catholic church, what you do, you go to the this the real, I'm telling you the real confession. That shit here's the Catholic shit is a reflection of or a rendition of psychological work. Got the door, open the door, Father, I sin, or whatever. That shit is you on one side, that's like a door, that's the door would be like the threshold between a horse and sit, or the front and the back or whatever. But you put that mirror up and you look at all the things that you've done that you may not be proud of, come to terms with them, figure out why or how you end up doing those things. Therefore, that'll prevent you from doing those things again, as well as you could take the information, if you so desire, and teach others to help them not do the same thing. Great way to raise your kids. You know, that's the type of shit we gotta do with kids. You gotta, certain shit you done did that you regret, instead of being, and you can't have them, you have to put the shame and the guilt aside, because that's how motherfuckers, worms play in the dirt. Motherfuckers can try to use, so if somebody will try to use some shit you did that you done already got over past and repented and knew, dealt with your own psyche, they can't use it against you. Once you people use guilt and shame against you, as you can see these days. So motherfuckers try to use, yeah, remember when you know, yeah, bitch, I did that, and what? I know I was fucked up and cried about it or whatever, did what I had to do to get over it, the inner work. That's what shadow work is about. So motherfucker can't use some shit against you. So you get the karate kick them, the motherfucker in their ass, where they try to, like, well, yeah, man, I know something about you. Like, yeah, bitch, pull it out. Let's get it. That's time. Let's get it, bitch. Stop there. And we'll use it as a lesson to teach people how not to do it again. Motherfucker. That's gangsta. That's gangsta. Yeah, because you got a lot of that going on around here. Skeletons in the closet. New bones in your closet. More Than a Woman by Leah. You should listen to it. So, I wanted to just get that out the way. Yeah, good gang. Good gang, God. Not a fucking idiot out here. Let me stick to the lesson. I don't want to get sidetracked, but yeah. So anyway, these niggas out here, man. Boy, I tell you, boy. Anyway, now let's get into this man and woman thing. But I go to cap that on off. These women are fucked up out here. I miss the 90s girls. That's why when I see just her and her, you know, that's my mom. You know, Whitney more of an 80s girl, but she was around in the 90s. But when I see them, it just delights my heart. When I see sudden change and the girls with the flannels, with the cholo type shit and the total top out, it'd just be a different vibe. I don't even like these, and not all women today. I'm not putting it on all women today, but it's to the point now where it's like, this is the worst era of women I've ever seen. These are the most greediest, inconsiderate, hard-headed, can't tell them nothing. Especially with this social media shit, that don't make it no better. I'm sorry. I tell you this in hopes that Allah makes you a better man. And I said, do something, bitch. Something. This thing helping. This define Jesus. Well, I am Jesus, man. I can't help you. I don't know what the fuck is. I'm sitting there. Man. We finna get into it, though. Trust me on that. I just want to get that out the way, man. Psychic self-defense, man. Don't be a slave. Don't be a slave to your own past traumas and mishaps, because they will try to do it to you. And I just leave it at that for right now. I don't want to spook niggas out, because it's really popping around here. We got to clean the bull. We got to clean our own backyard up before we are fucked up. As you can see, you see shit. You see the stinky sandwiches. It reeks, Enrique. It reeks. You see the foulness coming out. Your favorites. All this sick shit going on around this business. Must be the money. Gotta be the money. These niggas are sick, man. Lord knows what's next to come. The shit we seeing already is disgusting. Shit, man. Shit, man. I don't even give a fuck about sex right now. I'm gonna have to reacclimate myself and even ain't had sex in a minute due to not knowing who to trust around this motherfucker. Because you know that's the number one thing they try to send to the niggas, some hoes and shit. So I ain't even been able to you know what relate that back to my last video, what I was telling y'all. But you know, niggas trying to put a nigga in the blender. That's the oldest trick in the book, nigga. I don't even let hoes know where I stay at. So that show you how much I love women to death, but I know how motherfuckers operate. So yeah, you ain't gonna nigga. I ain't never been like that type of nigga. Slide a bitch under them. Before this, before I even just regular life, I evaluated this. Cause that's just coming from the street, just being a street nigga. That's one of the things you keep in mind. You never know. Not that I was ever a big baller or no shit. They don't take, you know what I mean? Shit. I remember niggas, just cause I had a nice little whip that my old man gave me. That's the only thing I can see to make a nigga, well, niggas know I sold grass and shit too. But I remember a nigga came to me one day and was like, man, bro, some niggas talking about robbing you, bro. I was like, who? I don't know who the nigga was. He shooting some woo, but I was like, for what? I don't fucking with nobody. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't. Oh, I'll give you another example. My nigga ended up getting stuck up. And it's crazy how it happened. We was in the house one day where he had a spot. Well, he had an apartment, but he was selling grass out of it. So we ended up sipping, drinking shit. And that was back when drink was cheap, not this $100 a line shit or whatever the fuck going on. So this is back when drink was, you get shit, the shit you gotta pay for an ounce, we was getting pints and shit to that shit for that amount. But we was sitting in the house one day, and some niggas that came to get some grass. I sold grass too, but that was his house though. So we sitting there blowing, the niggas come in the door and shit. Now my partner had the iron. He had the iron on the pt.21. He had the bitch on the it's like the okay, this the front door. When you come in, when you walk in the front door, right here would be the kitchen, and it had like a little drain board, a little counter right there. So he had the iron on the counter. So he got the niggas in, but he turns back on the niggas and the iron. I'm sitting on the couch, the iron on the counter. He turns back, the nigga coming through the door. So I'm looking, I'm like, now mind you, niggas wouldn't even know it like that, but I'm type of shit I be on. I'm a gangster. This type of shit. So the niggas say, not only I peep that, the niggas say, man, y'all in there balling out of control. Y'all sipping drink. But that ain't the case, because that's why I say just certain, what you might think is small, but smaller you might be big to the next nigga. So, and we wouldn't even, I think I had like a little deuce. My partner probably had like a deuce or 4. It's 2 ounces or whatever. That ain't nothing major. Shit, add more. That's punk sipping. He technically down that straight. Next. But to this guy, we bought, I heard my partner said he probably been, he probably down his luck or ain't got no bread or just small minded or whatever. So he looking at this shit like, man, y'all niggas here blowing, y'all selling, y'all doing it, y'all balling. I'm like, no, we ain't balling. We just doing it, this shit ain't nothing. But to him, it was something, I guess. This ain't even the guy that robbed him. I'm just showing y'all shit how life works. So, I was probably like, nah, man, it ain't nothing like that. We just, shit, doing our thing or whatever. So he served the niggas or whatever, they left. When they leave, I tell my posse, say, bro, but now don't answer the door with that iron in your hand. Now I'm a little bit more G'd up than him, because the block I remember I jumped up the porch early. I met him on my, just, the block I was staying on. This is my block. We was already grinding and shit. When I moved to where I moved to when I met him, they weren't necessarily hustling shit over there. But I knew niggas, his little brother from school and shit. And and we got cool like that, but they weren't necessarily not saying they was whole ass niggas and no shit like that, but just they wasn't as up to speed with the grinding and shit that we was where I came from. So I'm a little bit more street savvy, so to speak. The best way to put it, that group that I was with over there was probably more player, and my block niggas was more gangster or whatever. So I had more of the warrior type mentality, so to speak. So when them niggas leave, I say, bro, for now, because that's how I was. My niggas from my partner G and shit, when he had his spot, every time he out the door, he got the iron in his hand. So I told him, I say, bro, for now, bro, keep that iron in your hand when you answer the door. He was like, oh man, y'all niggas always trying to be super gangster. I'm like, nah, bro. I say, if that nigga if them nigga could have grabbed that iron off the counter, put that shit to the back of that nigga head, and held everybody up in that bitch. He not peeping the game though. My nigga though, I ain't trying to say no name, but it was one of the last of the Mohicans. All the niggas I done lost, so don't fuck with no boy. He one of the niggas I probably caught. Well, I was gonna say probably. He one of the niggas that I caught. Last time I talked to him, we had a good conversation. But if I can get my goddamn social, cause this shit I've been through, put me to the anti-social box. That's go back to what I'm saying about Wayne had no pussy in a minute, cause I don't be sure what the fuck going on right there. But he's one nigga I kick it with to this day. There's a few of them left, but he's one of them. So there ain't no knock to my boy. I told him, I said, bro, answer the door that iron. He's like, man, y'all niggas out. You always some super gangster shit. Well, me and my other partner, we listen. But anyway, he was like, y'all, you that nigga T always on some super gangster shit. I was like, now I was like, bro, that's just safety, bro. I'm looking at the play. What could have been a play? We could have been all fucked off in here. You know, the last thing you want to do is get raw with your own gun. So, so you know it, man. About a week later, nigga ended up getting raw by some totally different niggas. And but no, I'm gonna go back to the story. But he was like, man, y'all niggas act like we got pound keys in here and shit. We ain't doing it like that. I said, yeah, bro, but to them niggas, what you think is small might be a big thing to them niggas. So, yeah, we not Tony Montana in this bitch, but to them niggas, what you think is small might be big to them niggas. I'm like, nah, man, y'all niggas overreacting. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, I'm seeing this shit, bro. If a nigga turned his back, he opened the door and turned his back on the gun and the niggas. The nigga could just grab that pistol and whoop, hey, bro, whoop. We ain't had no line. So it ain't like I could have reached on the couch and hit the niggas or whatever. When they tried that, they could have held that nigga hostage. Nobody moving this bitch. There was nothing we can do. And so you know, I ain't laughing like it's funny, but you can look back now. It was years ago, but so you know, the nigga ended up getting raw a week later. So I told you, bro, take that shit in your hand. Now I like me. Niggas, when I was standing with people and shit, so niggas wouldn't just come into my door like that. Only motherfuckers I girls and niggas partners and shit, really. Everybody else, I'll meet them somewhere, and most of the time I was in the whip, so I was a delivery guy. But yeah, man. Fuck, I ended up telling that story for. I don't know. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna close this one out, man. I don't the fuck up, man. I don't know. I'll rewind it and see what the fuck I even started telling that story for, but we'll be back, man. Let me load this one up. Y'all niggas just be easy, man. Peace.